this is Bellisimo. It is so good to see everyone, and the energy is really coming in. So today, I wanted to talk to you about relationships. This could be a relationship with someone else, a relationship with your spirit and the body, a relationship maybe even between your job, people at work. It is so important, kind of this concept, because most people, when they get into relationship, is they start to merge. And when you merge, maybe even if it's at work, at your job, you may have these demands, you may have all of these things that you need to do. And pretty soon what happens is that those demands start to come in on you. And then all of a sudden, you forget your own space, what it is that you want. And when you start to merge with somebody else's reality, your reality starts to collapse and fall. And this is especially if you're sensitive. And so sensitive people tend to absorb the other energies around them. They absorb other people's lives. And then soon they find themselves sick. Hi, Jill. And when you absorb somebody else's energy or get entangled with them, this is where you may feel so tired, so depressed, so down, like no energy in the body. And so it's very important that we start to occupy the space in a different way. So I want you to entertain this idea of relationship, how to be in relationship. In order to be in relationship in a new way, there has to be space in between you and that other person. So there's you over here in your space. There is the other person in their space. And when you look at the two, just if you can imagine somebody in your life, like, how much energy do they have of mine? Or how much is my attention on them? Or where you're dreaming about that person, you're thinking about that person, and they pretty much are in your space. A lot of times we react, we respond as, get them out of my space, I don't want them in my space. But really, it is an opportunity to see kind of where do we let them in? Or even we may be in somebody else's space. But by doing this, we start to entangle. And this entanglement is just a strangulation. And we don't live and experience our own light in the world. And so in order to create anything, because spirit can create in a moment, in a snap, spirit creates. So when you create something that you want, what you need is a space for that to come in. And just like in any relationship, the relationship maybe with another person is a great example, because if you don't provide a space, I always say a diamond in between me and you, like a space in between the two. This third space is the space of spirit. It is the space of the planet. It is a third space where both energies, where you and somebody else are allowed to just be, where you don't have a bunch of opinions about that other person. Have you ever experienced when you're around someone, you have all these creative ideas and you feel so great? It's because you're just allowed to be free in that space, where you don't have somebody saying how you should feel, what you should do, but you're just allowed to be. In a way, when you focus on the wisdom of your heart, it creates your space. It creates this bubble. And when you see a space in between me and you, this space where we're allowed to be free, where you can have your opinions, I can have my opinions, and there's space for you and me. This space is a magical space, because if you can provide that space, and especially it's hard to do when you see somebody that you don't like, somebody that you hate. But if you can just give them a space to be in, just a space, then they don't overtake you. Because if you're in resistance at all to someone, then they are locked in and you were not free. So by providing, here you go, here's a space, here's a bubble, here's a waiting room, here's a space to go to. It's like last night, a lot of energy was dropping in from the astral, from the dream space. And I could feel the energy come in my dreams and through. And I could even feel like pain happening in my body. And I just not go in resistance, but just provide a space. Here you go. Instead of it coming in me, instead of me absorbing, like now with kind of the collective rising up with the collective energy, a lot of chaos. And that is in our dream spaces. It's everywhere. You can feel it. And if that comes on you, then you're feeling depressed, down, like you can't breathe. So move it into a space. Here you go. An empty space for it to be. And then you find you have your space, I have my space. And each of us can exist. Each of us can create in a whole new space, a whole new reality. It is the key to any relationship. Most people, when I look at them and they're fighting and they can't stand that person, it is because that person has merged with them in their space and they don't know how to break free. So when you put a container out, it moves out from you. You're just redirecting that energy. And then by focusing on the diamond of your heart, you find your space. And this is what we all need to create something new. And that way, your light, the living light, comes in and through. So I'm saying hi. Hi, Jill. I'm saying hi to you guys. And love you in greater whole in all you do. Love you guys. If I could get off, maybe I'm not supposed to get off. There we go. Hi, Tyler. Did you go? Let me know.